Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm not prepared. Hold on. Yes, now the uniform is complete. I feel like there should be a Super Saiyan moment where there's like fire shoots out from behind me. I'm just like, oh! But no, that's not what happens. I put the hat on and just look less bald. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? I am Rich Tesla. This is the Two Guys Tech Homelab Hour. The chat is wonderfully blown up as always. I saw Allie in there, XP farming from like last night. And Levik's in there. We've got Game Over Dave in there. Sakura's in there. We got who else we got? We got Jason in there. This is a lively bunch. Thank you guys for joining me. It is November 18th, and this is the 35th episode. I feel like again we need there needs to be a soundboard, just like whatever. I'll work on it. That's the unimportant stuff. Just to remind people, because I know I'm completely off script and I'm just like trying to flounder around here. This is all about hanging out, talking about Homelab, talking about the videos that I make here on Two Guys Tech. And, ask questions if you've got questions about any of the videos or any content or Homelabbing, engineering, that kind of stuff. And just to hang out with people who are just like-minded, just like you and me, who are obsessed with technology and Homelabs. Anyway. I have Brandon back this week. So as I like to say, if the stream is great, it's Brandon's fault. If it's terrible, it's my fault. How about that? Yeah. Allie's in the chat. It's Rich's script hosted by Cloudflare. Actually, we're going to talk about it real quick because we have to, right? We got to talk about Cloudflare this morning, at least this morning for us on the West Coast. It was an East Coast kind of morning thing too. So it was really early for us, but we all felt it. Even the Two Guys Tech website, that went down. Even Brandon's monitoring of the Two Guys Tech website, it went down. We'll get to all of that. And it's the trifecta. It's just not the trifecta we thought we were going to get. Anyway, let's move on with the kind of the stuff that I like to do. I like to start with a personal story. And this one's not very long. This one's just little. But I'm hoping to find solace from you people. I'm hoping to find kindred spirits when I tell this story. Anyway, last weekend, we went to IKEA. Have you been to IKEA? I'm assuming that there's IKEAs all over the world. Of course there is. What am I saying? But I don't go all that often because the IKEA around here is actually an hour away at the northern part of Portland by the airport, and I live much south. So it's an ordeal. It's a trek. To go to IKEA is a commitment. And we're going to IKEA because I have a teenage son. He's outgrown his youthful children's furniture, and it's time to upgrade. Time to grow up, give him a queen size bed and all that kind of the things you do as a parent to make sure that your child's legs don't hang over the end of your bed. Anyway, long story short, there's something about IKEA for me that really just makes me so excited about the possibilities. Like I look at IKEA as like everything's an engineering marvel in the sense that it's all designed to fit together, even if it's got goofy names and they don't look like they go together. It's like, you can go grab some of that, you can grab some of that, and you can literally make whatever you want. So from an engineer standpoint, IKEA is like this place that's just like, it's really neat. It's really cool. However, there is something that I've experienced now that I've been able to put to words, and this is where I want to commiserate with you guys. I have learned that IKEA, there's something about that place that when you leave your house and you're like, I'm going to IKEA, I'm going to find some great stuff. I'm so excited. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to do this. And you get to the IKEA and you start walking around. Within 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Maybe you got more fortitude in your character sheet than I do. But within 30 minutes, all of a sudden you're like, I hate this place. This is horrible. I want to go home and I can't because it's so big and I have to get through. And then everyone around you, my whole family, they're like all of a sudden a loving family turns into rabid pack animals and they're just trying to bite each other. They all want to leave. There's something about that place that turns from an exciting possibility into a horrible, nightmarish hellscape that you can't leave quickly enough. So I hope that's, I'm not the only one. Jeremy, you probably came in just at the wrong time for me to be doing this. But anyway, so yeah, I want to know if that's the same case with you guys. You go to the IKEA and you walk around, you're like, this is amazing. I love it all. I'm going to buy that, and that. Or do you go there and you think that if there is a hell, this is what hell is like? It's just a never-ending IKEA where everyone is just being passive-aggressive and angry that you're taking too long in that section. You know what you're talking about. Anyway, that was it. And as an aside, something I'm going to something I'm just going to say because I know that the Discord, by the way, join our Discord. It's totally free, like that one, will give me a bunch of crap for. In the garage is all the flat pack boxes that I bought on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. So nothing's built. So I went there, had that experience, brought it all back, and it's just sitting in the garage waiting for me to come around and do the work, which that's hard. Help. Anyway, that's a personal story. Sakura's never been to an IKEA, and I think you should at least go once. Everyone should experience that once. Again, the engineering, the Hazvaj, the Hemnes, all of the great Swedish names, the Swedish meatballs. Anyway, I'm not sponsored by IKEA, nor do I want to be. Let's move on, shall we? Okay. Let's talk about the thing that everyone was talking about right when we came in here. Brandon, if you would, let's throw up on the screen the Cloudflare. There it is. So, I want to just start by saying things come in threes, right? Do you remember weeks ago we had AWS, we had US East 1 go down, and the world just basically stopped for the most part. Then a week later, Azure went down. And we're like, oh, Azure front door is offline. Guess what? No websites. I'm just going to go home. My Outlook's not working. And we all thought to ourselves, we all said, you know, in a superstitious way, things kind of come in threes. I wonder if GCP is next. I bet GCP is next. Is it going to be GCP? It wasn't. It was Cloudflare. So Cloudflare, I'm pointing the wrong direction here. Cloudflare was the third. It took a little while. It wasn't like week after week. There was a little bit of a gap there. Yeah, and so like Ali just said in the chat, Down Detector lives behind Cloudflare. So many things live behind Cloudflare tunnels. Their CDNs and their their protections, and they went away. So what we know so far is that I'm scrolling through my stuff here and not doing a very good job. Where's my mouse? There it is. Hello, Mr. Mouse. We know that around I guess. It was basically announced around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time that they had problems and they were fixing it, but the problem started 4 hours before that. Something to do with some bad file that caused the system crash, the software system to crash, and that led to a cascading failure across the world. By 12:45 today, they claim to have everything up. The funny thing was, I noticed that a lot of their status page information was just woefully incorrect. Like there are people there, they said, "Oh, we're monitoring slight latency in this," but there are people who are like, "I'm still down. I still don't work. My tunnels don't work." But they finally got it back up, right? It took down I know you guys were there. I know you're busy looking at the 2GT website at like, what was that? 6. Yeah, and it's too early. So. What did Sakura say? I am the geek. Okay, so the thing I did want to say, and I don't know if you guys remember, the last time Cloudflare had a big outage was due to some infrastructure issues over at Flexential in Hillsboro, which is just north of where I'm at. Because Cloudflare has a big presence here in the Pacific Northwest, as you can imagine. Every data center, really. And they wrote this scathing, angry blog where they basically took Flexential and they just raked them over the coals, basically going off about how unprofessional and poorly engineered and poorly planned out, and they're just the worst. And I wonder what the blog's going to look like this time. They've always written very spicy blogs, and they always seem to find a way to shirk responsibility. It'll be interesting if they shirk responsibility in this one, because this wasn't something that, at least that we know of right now, that was caused by an outside presence. This was a Cloudflare thing. So we'll see if Cloudflare actually owns up and says, we're sorry. We're sorry. South Park reference. Remember berries? All right. And Alex said, it's not always DNS. Sometimes it's BGP. That's true. Sometimes it's just a bad system update that systematically takes down all of Cloudflare's infrastructure. There's a lot of ways that the internet that is fully made up of basically just a few big companies can go down and take all of the rest of the world with it. This is one of them. So I don't know if any of you out there were affected professionally. I know you're probably affected personally if you're using Cloudflare for any sort of shenanigans online, but let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you guys had problems too. I'd love to know what things hurt you. Who hurt you? Was it Cloudflare? Did Cloudflare hurt you? Okay. I have something really exciting to show you. And I want to talk about it first. So the holidays are coming. And I say the word holidays because I want this to be something that I made that can be for any season, anytime. It doesn't have to be for, the Christmas, Xmas, or what, and choose your denomination holiday. But let's start with showing you. So let me take a step back first because I'm over here. I had an idea, and that idea was I wanted to make something that we could do to celebrate Homelabs in the holiday season, or make maybe like a desktop toy. So I've been tinkering. Meanwhile, also been making content that'll come out soon. I expect it to come out hopefully this week. That stuff that I remember last week when I blew off the live show. That was because I had to work my butt off to get something done. I got it done. I am responsible. We'll talk about what I did too in a little bit because I want to show you it because it's exciting after this. All right, so let's start with the design. Brandon, if you would please, let's pop over to the window. No, let's go to the other one first. There's nothing there. All right. So I built for everybody, and I just want to get this out of the way first. So this is going to be the STLs for this. This is a 3D printed thing are going to be, I'm giving them away for free. This is my gift to you guys. If you own 3D printers, I'm also going to make a bunch and sell them on homelabgear.shop in case people who don't have 3D printers wants it. So it's available however you can get it, right? But if you have a 3D printer, I will make sure that we'll do a big announcement and do all that kind of stuff to make the STLs available. But it is an ornament or, a desk toy, whatever you want to do. And it is a little server rack. And so I'm going to show you the design first. It is it's supposed to be a 42U rack. This is, would you guys believe that I measured my rack and got the dimensions and then scaled down based on it? Because that's exactly what I did. I went whole hog nerd on this. I don't know why. The door goes on the front here. You can see little openings here. And I'll show you all this in person in a second. The back door is a bifurcation. So they open like a closet door or something like that. And I made a few servers to go in it. Those servers are a 4U large format, a 1U large format, a 2U large format, and a 2U small format, or small form factor, SFF, excuse me, words. And the whole thing, let's show you this. So there's a little hole in the top, there's a little pin that goes in there to fix it. And I may actually just make this without also the STL without the pin with the hole, so in case you want it solid. But let's break this apart because I really want to. People like to see me spin things around. Let's rotate this thing. I want to show you the back side of it. There is my thing here. Let's flip her over. Whoop-a-doop. So there are 3 holes here, and you use a thin gauge wire. Like I bought some basically galvanized wire that you cut to size and shove in the holes, and it fits through these. The hardest thing about this, I was done with the design concept like last week. But did you know how hard it is to make hinges in plastic on a 3D printer that are small? Turns out it sucks. Paper clips will work too. Sakura, that's a great point too. You can use paper clip. But I just insert the wire, measure to size, and then cut. And on the top side of this, there are no holes. So when you shove it in the paper clip or your wire, whatever it is, it doesn't get shown. So yeah, let's take a look, and I want to show you everything here. So let me go ahead, Brandon. Let's flip to the other camera. I actually pulled the camera out for this one too. Okay. All right. So let's look at, I'm going to show it to you in black first because black is how I would do it myself. But in all fairness, Jason, welcome. I'll show you it in white so you can see it better on camera. So here we go. So here is this little guy here, right? See this guy? Forgive my giant hands. It's a wide angle camera. It opens up. See, you can see, you see the little hole right there. Door closes like this. The backside. Backside's my favorite, by the way. One side. Other side. Yeah, you can open all the doors you want if that's on your thing. And so let's flip this around. We got people with ideas about RGBs in there. That'd be awesome. I don't know where you can put the battery. We could. So anyway, this is the server case, right? It looks like you expect. Let me show you this in white and show you the servers going in. So Set that guy right there. Here's in white, a little bit easier to see, I imagine. Let me grab the servers in question. Just grab a few of these. 1, 2. All right. Put these guys right here. All right. So here you can see there was little the pinhole. And if you buy it, I'll give you a piece of string too. So here's the server. Hopefully you guys can see that it's not too washed out. It looks a little washed out on my screen. The back doors, it's cool. I mean, who doesn't love it? I think it's awesome. So let's see. You can build this however your Homelab rack is built. Here's a for you, right? We'll just shove that for you in the bottom there. Boop. Doesn't fall out like it holds in there. Let's put another. Let's put a 2U large form factor in there. Boop. Oh, you have a high density small form factor. Boop. I've got more drives over here. Since you can print whatever you want with it. How many do you want? Let's say that your name is Sakura and you have a ton of hard drives. There's another one there. And we'll throw in another large format in the top. And then a little small one in the top there. And then boop. And there's a little, I don't know if you see this or not, but there's a little notch on the edge there. Let's see if it's hard to see that. There's a little notch there, so when you close it, it stays closed. Servers don't fall out the bottom, and they're stuck there in the top. And there you go. So that's it. Hanging from the tree. It's not super heavy, but you'll probably want to put it, now that I think about it, you might want to print, if you're going to print it yourself, you might want to make with some, your infill might be a little light. I think I printed this in much higher infill than we need to for the servers, but that's it. The back here, you can just push them out. And they fall down and make lots of noise. And there we go. And that's it. Here, actually, one of my pins or my things. So this is a good example of showing how this works. So let's open here. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but here's one. The wire's really small gauge wire, right? And give it a little bit of a bend when you shove it in. It'll just stay put forever. And it's I'm watching the chat while trying to do this, which is an impossible thing for me to chat and talk. But just like that, guys. That's it. So I am going to, oh, that's the pins there. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to make all these STLs available. I would love to see the prints and share the Homelab love over the holidays. I think, so I would say I think, but to be honest with you, my desk is covered in prototypes. So so I was gonna say, I probably print out and just make it like a desk toy, but I have so many on my desk right now that I kind of just want to get out from underneath them. So yes. And sadly, I had a joke in here to make fun of Kubernetes, because I know we got some Kubernetes fans in the audience right now too, but I leaped right over the joke into the meat and potatoes. So anyway, I think it's neat. I hope you guys will enjoy that too. Share the love, and again, if you don't have a 3D printer, we'll make them available. You can buy them. I'll do it. We'll do it cheap. We're not going to do it. I'm not going to throw a bunch of profit on it, even though, whatever. We'll figure it out. Oh, you couldn't get the joke set up. Oh, Brandon. Oh, that was well done. Yeah. I'm sure Leavix and Game Over Dave could probably make a better Kubernetes or Kubert joke in here, because they spend a lot of time doing that. But dumb tiss. What can I say? Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead. Let's take a moment, everybody, and let's shit all over Kubernetes real quick. What do you say? I'll wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shadow Technology said you could scale those up and make he's talking about the 3D print. Make them into desk shelves. You could. I think you would have to be putting a lot of stuff together to make it work, and that's kind of one of the downsides of 3D print. I mean, I have a big. Oh man, I love it. The chat's great. You guys are awesome. Anyway, so yeah, I will. My plan is, again, just to reiterate, I'll make a quick little video, because this is a channel where I make videos about home labs and stuff, right? So technology, I kind of have to make a video. It's my thing. Anyway, we'll make that, get it done here next day or two, and then I'll get Brandon to put these up on the website. and we'll get the STLs out, and I'll make a big announcement, and you 3D printing fanatics out there can have at it. Yeah. I'm gonna take a sip of unsponsored drink. All right, let's get to some meat and potatoes Homelab stuff, shall we? Let's talk about some cooler things. I think I mentioned to you guys earlier that, for the past couple of weeks, I have been busting my butt working on a video engagement with the company, and I just got that video engagement done. But the exciting thing is that it's allowed me to spend some time with their private cloud software. And so I did want to finally show you guys, excuse me while I make a bunch of noise moving this stuff out of the way, because there's little bits of plastic everywhere. Let's jump over to it. So let's start at the beginning first. Let's go here and go to, oh man, I can't talk today, or I can't type, excuse me. MicroCloud, made by Canonical. Canonical reached out to me a while back, was like, hey, you want to look at this? You want to take a look at our private cloud solution? I'm like, you know what? Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ubuntu myself. Actually, all of my servers run Ubuntu. So I was like, this is synergistic. Let's just do this. So I dove in head first into MicroCloud. And MicroCloud is essentially, the best way I would describe it is, it's a combination. It's an amalgamation of three major projects that they've put together into an easy single deploy wrapped solution that makes it really easy for anyone on low power hardware up to high-end multi-scaled systems to deploy. It's built on top of LXD. By the way, that right there, oh, my fingers over here. This right here, that is said LXD. LXD. It's not said LXD, it's LXD. Fight me in the chat, I can show you. It's called, so it uses LXD for virtualization and containers. It uses Ceph, or their lightweight version of what they call MicroCeph, to handle distributed storage, and OVN, or micro OVN, for distributed networking. And they built this system with the promise that you could just run a couple commands and Bob's your uncle or your father's brother or whatever, and you'd have yourself a private cloud. I've done a few private cloud videos by this point, and there's one thing about the private clouds that always tend to get a little problematic, and that is that they're a little harder to set up. They're not really necessarily targeted at a quick turnaround, easy to get going. And there's reasons for that. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're all trying to make things hard, but it's one of those deals where there's a lot of complexity in setting up a private cloud. And this platform has worked really hard to make that much, much easier than it ever was. I'll put the marketing BS away. So let's take a look at it. So here's the thing. When the video comes out, you'll see how to do it. So we'll save all that for the good stuff. But if we jump over to, let's make this larger so that we can all see it and not go crazy with our squinting. That's probably good for now. Hopefully you can all see that. So MicroCloud, like I said, utilizes LXD for their containers and their virtual machine support, right? LXD is using KVM and QEMU for virtualization as a whole, and LXC for containers, right? But it's basically a singular package. LXD itself can be used on its own. MicroCloud doesn't have its own UI or user experience. It is using LXD's UI, but it's branded MicroCloud when you deploy it that way. And we'll take a quick walk through the UI of this just to kind of give you we're going to top level stuff. So let's, we'll get through real fast. So it is a multi-tenant. They call them projects, but it's a multi-tenant solution. You can build different tenancies and have separations of different workloads from each other, from others. It supports things like regular GPU pass-through. It will do PCI pass-through. It'll do TPM, so you can run Windows on it. I didn't, but you can. Absolutely, even show you how to. And like a lot of private clouds softwares out there, they call their virtual machines or containers instances, right? So I have two right here, and I'm going to show you the one thing. And lots of Ceph and Proxmox people in the chat, absolutely. But there's something that this does. I'm just going to get to one of the things. So one of the things that really blew me away with this platform is, one, super, super simple to deploy. Like, it's just you have a minimum of 2 NICs, a minimum of 3 drives if you want to do like a enterprise deployment, and you're off and running with local and shared storage, and 3 hosts to get yourself a redundancy. You can also run this as a single host. You can run a single node cluster off this, and then you can add over time additional nodes, that's pretty awesome. But the thing that really blew me away when I was playing with this, Allie's in there. It's good. Allie's put down the flag. It's LXD. I think that there's whatever makes you happy. That's all I gotta say. LXD, whatever. But the thing that, back to what I was saying, the thing that blew me away, if we go to create an instance on this guy real quick, if I can get my mouse to work, because I'm a little too far away from my dongle. We can build one real quick. Let's just say test Linux. Why not? The thing that I was just awestruck by, stunned by, is when I go to browse images here, the amount of available images just blew my mind. I have never in a cloud solution or private cloud solution seen all of these images. Like, I don't even know what void Linux is if you enter the void when you use it, but there's a container for it. It's got everything that I could think of. NixOS is in here. I know we got some very strong advocates of NixOS, and there's even I was scroll up here earlier, and it even has, where is it at? Arch. It's got Arch for all you. By the way, I don't use Arch. Yes, the thing that also surprised me is, like, if you change your architecture and just go to like legacy, you can install Ubuntu 10.04 LTS. Why? Because you're crazy like that, and you want to do it. So this whole system was like, okay, I've never seen so many templates. You can see I've downloaded a few, but you can run, some of these templates will do both a virtual machine or a container, depending on how you want to do a GUI. Let's back out of this and look at this. So if I go back to my instances here, like, wait for this to wake up. Like, it's going to resize itself dynamically. This is just, I couldn't believe that they had put together such a simple system that was like, oh, you want to spin up a VM, spin up a container, do it. It's got all the regular, you can, look, we can migrate this to a different host. I built this on the 4-node test cluster downstairs. You guys remember I built that on camera? We just go, hey, let's move this over to node 4. Boop, and say go. And it starts to do its thing, and when it's done, we'll see if we can play around here while it's still doing it. So one of the things that I would love to know is, do we have issues when we go and it's still working? Did it get moved? Let's go over here to overview and see what host it's on. Still on node 1, so we'll see what's going on here. It's migrating its instance and doing the thing. Just successfully migrated. Darn it, I wanted to play with it while I was doing it to see if it, but here we go. And it now it does use Snap to deploy. So, and I remember I told Brandon this, and Brandon's like, Snap. But I have a feeling if you're invested in Ubuntu, you probably invested in Snap too by this point, or accepted that that's just part of it. So it's got a lot of other incredibly interesting things. Over here, you can build profiles, and this is a pretty common thing for like a private cloud is to have. They all call them different things, whether it's a T-shirt size or it is a it's a template for a virtual machine. But you can create a profile that mandates a few things, like you can define which default network, the device, how big the pool is, where you store the data automatically. So, and this is fully automatable, just like all the private clouds, where you could say, deploy a virtual machine, deploy this image using this profile, and then it'll come up and it'll be on your network that you want using whatever your standardized configurations are for it. You can change your limitations on how many CPUs, vCPUs, memory, that kind of stuff. This has got 4, so it's a little lightweight in this profile. It's got all the basic trimmings of, like, you can have your physical networks, you can have your bridges, your cluster-wide networks for your OVN on there. Access control list, you have firewall rules, basically. That's what they are. I mean, let's just call it like it is. The ACLs are firewall rules that allow ingress and egress rules to be built. And the chat is all upset. Look at this. Guys, it really wasn't that bad. I'm just saying. I like that it was that easy. Anyway, storage systems, but let's jump down here and go, this is like, you can see all the nodes. This is awesome too, by the way. So remember we just moved that virtual machine over to node 4, right? We got a list of all the nodes here. If I just go boop and hit stop, it'll automatically evacuate. You have some options here. You know, you can just leave it automatic and just say, do the thing, and it will move those VMs off. It'll get those things out of the way, and then you can do your maintenance on your host. So there's a lot of whole, like, you know, very similar maintenance systems. This is something that I saw other private clouds actually lack, was the ability to command through the GUI, the ability to evacuate hosts, make them available for system updates or whatever, and then reboot them. And it's nice to see that. Now, I'm not saying that you're never going to have to drop to a command line to do things, because we all know that this is the world we live in. If we're working with Linux, there's a good possibility you're going to... Oh, I know. Leavix just said in the chat, can I ban Sakura? Yeah, I mean, technically, you're a mod on the Discord. You can might want to bring it up to the council. You have to wear the robe and the wig and hit the gavel on the table. I'm kidding. I'm just thoroughly impressed. Like, I've looked at a lot of these private clouds that putting them together and maintain them is kind of a heartache. And this has been surprisingly simple. It even has an S3 bucket functionality built in. You don't need Minio anymore. Not that Minio's been friendly lately with their source only for it, but like, I'm just quite impressed. The chat is currently revolting against Sakura. Sakura, quickly say something. Say you're sorry. I don't know. Never. Anyway, they're all good guys. This is all the Discord crew here. So if you are, and you can load your own custom ISOs in this thing too. There's a walkthrough that helps you figure out how to upload Windows ISOs, especially because they have to be formatted in a specific way to be ingested. I don't know how many people will be running Windows on this. Like, I guess if you're replacing an enterprise stack with it, you could do whatever you want, but I'm just kind of blown away by all this, frankly. This has been quite a experience. Just the whole turnkey solution. Like, I expect that from the big guys like VMware. I expect that from the big guys like Nutanix and Verge and those guys who their whole platform is like, you buy the software, you install it, and you get things configured, and it's more turnkey. Typically, your OpenStacks, your Kubernetes, sorry, Leavix, your Kubernetes, there's a lot of hand holding, a lot of nuance, a lot of nitpicking to get that to be exactly how you deploy it. And this is more the modern turn on, run the commands, configure it based on your hardware, and off you go. So, Trucker Alley Cat said, the big question is, how does it handle client migration from the outside? Does it require some smartness on the load balancer reverse proxy, or is there a proxy front end that can point to the host? That is a great question, and that is one that I honestly don't know. I would imagine that your MAC addresses are going to stay the same, and typically, even in like VMware or another hypervisor, when you migrate between your workloads between hosts, when it shows up on a new location and that MAC address becomes available, typically your switches will be like, oh, update my MAC table so it points over there for that new address, right? Who's got it? There's also things that they can do to things being the hypervisors, and I'm not sure if MicroCloud does it or OVN does it specifically, since MicroCloud is just running OVN. But if it does announce, it says, hey, by the way, it's over here now. It's on this host. And that'd be a good question. That's why, we can do an experiment. Let's see what happens if we, let's go back to this. Let's we're going to go ahead and do some movie magic here. So I'm going to duplicate this tab, and I'm going to go. So there's also an interesting thing that they have there I haven't seen before. There's a terminal tab, And the terminal tab just puts you straight onto a terminal on the virtual machine or the container. And oh, the chat is great. I love it. So let's just do something. Well, that's the wrong keyboard. That's the wrong one. Excuse me. So if we go to the terminal here and we just type ping, let's just ping Google. We're just going to let a Google ping run here, okay? So the question is, if I go back over, this is the same VM on this tab here. And if I go here and I say, what happens if I say migrate? And we'll migrate to a, it's already on number 1. We'll migrate to number 2 here. Say migrate. We'll go back to this and see if there's an interruption. And see, that was the thing that when I was a kid, gosh, that was one of the big things that blew my mind. When I was a kid learning VMware and being, in the class when I was training, like had a virtual machine up, we were RDP'd into that virtual machine, and they'd say, start a ping. And then they would say, now leave that window open and go do a migrate. So it did drop. We saw that interruption there and it did disappear. So it looks like there is an interruption there. The system itself doesn't go offline. So I'm not sure, maybe the terminal, let's do this again. Let's do this the terminal obviously is not a good way to test that. So let's just start again. We'll start the ping of the Googles. Oh, she's upset. Do I not have that? Well, DNS, let's see. Let's try. We have found some interesting information. So does it not update itself in the other side? I love it. It's active and awake, but is it not fully migrated? What's going on? Let's see if we can find out what's happening here. Information says it migrated over. Let's go down to our operations and see, yes, we're going to leave this page. Showing us all the things that it's doing. Okay, that's all looking fine. But our network's connectivity seems to have gone away for this virtual machine. Interesting. Do I have another VM on this host? That's maybe my host is the problem. What do you think, guys? We have a conundrum. Let's move this over to. Let me for funsies. Let's go back here too. Let's bring this back into the cluster as well. What do you say? I didn't. Should probably do that. Interesting. Yes. So it's creating instance. What do we happen over here? Setting up. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So was that because that other cluster member was down? You're back online, fully functional. Yeah, that's right. You're happy with that. Who needs a network anyway? Thank you, Brandon. Yes. I very well could have missed a VLAN. Let's go back to this again. Let's see what's happening here. So go back here. I want to figure out what's going on here. We need to answer this question. Okay. Still not talking to me. I've moved over host. Let's migrate. Let's go back to. Where's my mouse keeps leaving me too. Good times. All right. You know what? It feels like every time we do a demo, it breaks. Anyway. Something for me to figure out. But nonetheless, I was happily running a bunch of instances earlier. And so, again, this whole system is it's taken me by quite surprise. So I'm very impressed by it. Anyway, I really want to figure that out. I wish I could do that in camera, but I don't want to waste your guys' time while I try to figure that stuff out because that's not fun for you to watch. It's a downtime as a service. That's correct. Okay, moving on. Let's go back here. Let's jump back to the main screen, Brandon. I want to see if there's a. Yeah. Oh, there's been some very hot topics lately about this right here. On the screen, my friend. Troubleshooting is the way to go. Everybody wants me to troubleshoot and fix it. In the Discord, Brandon brought up everybody's been kind of yelling and screaming about this, but Brandon brought up how much RAM costs, and looks like OpenAI is eating everybody's lunch. Do you need RAM? Too bad. So, a severe shortage of global DRAM supply has reportedly led to some distributors in Taiwan to impose unprecedented bundling requirements on buyers. According to the report in Taiwan's Economic Daily News, it claims that certain channels are now requiring customers to purchase motherboards alongside DRAM modules at a 1-to-1 ratio or risk being denied access to memory stock entirely. What was the thing, Brandon? Brandon, what was the thing you said? You said, looks like bubble, isn't a bubble, feels like bubble, isn't a bubble. It's a crazy time. Leavix, first they came for the GPUs, now they come for the RAM. What is next? Our lives! When they come for our keyboards. You can take my house, you can take my life, but you can never take my keyboard. You probably can take my keyboard. Yeah, 2GT said, $812 for a 128 gigabyte pack of, was that DDR4 or was that DDR5? Storage. Well, Dave said storage is next. You remember when what was it? Chia ate all the storage. Like, it feels like our entire technology economy is just one step away from utter collapse. And I just don't know why things are that bad. How did we get here? How did we get to the point where we can't even have nice things anymore? So, yep. It's hold on to your DDR4. Like, hold on to your old gear. Feels like it's more prescient than ever that we're living in unprecedented storage times in the Homelab. So hold on to your RAMs, hold on to your storage, hold on to your E5 2680V4 CPUs. What did Shout Out Technology say? I am so happy I went poor buying RAM a few months ago, lol. Yeah. Yeah, we feel you. I feel you, my man. Sakura, you don't need any more storage. 2680 V4s, that's right. That I feel like that should be a bumper sticker that would fit on a lot of people's cars here. There in this chat would be the E5 2680 V4. That's all you'd say. Just that. Just that. Make a license plate holder that just says it. But I want to figure this out, why it's not doing it. But we'll dig with that later. I'll dig around with this, and we'll have another video next week. We'll talk about this and find out what's going on. Sakura asked if I could put the... Yeah, it just decided that it was gonna stop and stop talking. I will figure that out later. Anyway, all right, friends. That should do it. I didn't mention in the housekeeping notes, but after the show, we all get together on the Discord. We all hang out. We all talk over each other for a while, have a good time, and catch up with each other's weeks and the technology stuff that you're working on. You're listening to people lament about their Kubernetes stacks. I know that Game Over Dave had mentioned that he had built an entire stack of ran virtual machines in KubeVirt and had just, I don't remember how many layers it was, but it's so many layers. And it was quite impressive. That is latency. Latency is a service, Dave. That's what that is. Anyway, friends, let's head over to the Discord. We will do this next week. I will figure out what's going on with my thing so that I can show you it properly, because I feel like this is the curse of doing it live. Tons of layers. All right, guys. We'll do this next week. I will talk to you soon. Get on the Discord. And where's my button? I hid the button. I lost the button here. There it is. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll talk to you then.